Hi everyone, I am Dr. Ramesh from Cessna Lifeline Veterinary Hospital. Today we have a dog who has got the salivary cyst. You can see this cyst here. Salivary cyst, we have taken out the fluid last week and it came as a salivary cyst only in the cytology. So today we are doing mandibular salivary gland removal here. So this is the mandibular salivary gland. You can see this swelling was almost in the center, but when we shaved, we realized that it's more of left side. So we are doing this surgery from the left side. This is the cranial part and this is the caudal part. This is the ventral part, this is dorsal part. So this is the mandible. Because in this surgery, the most important step is to find out where is the all the structures, because anatomy is most important, because being this area, can I get a pen? Here is, this is the jugular vein is coming, and the maxillary and sublingual branch is coming down. So this is our the jugular vein, external jugular vein. This is the maxillary part of the jugular vein, and this is the sublingual part, and then it goes to the mandibular part and facial. So this is mandibulofacial also we call it. So we are, and here where the this jaw is there, in this area this is the digastric muscle probably, because and after that hypoglossal nerve also comes, which we need to identify. So identifying all structures are more important for us in this case. Can I get two Yelpies also? So this is a muscle just below the skin, latissimus muscle. We are going to just cut it, and let me get my Gelpies. These surgeries are not very common surgery for me also. Maybe I must be doing this surgery in a year, maybe 3 or 4 surgeries. But still in Indian situations, we don't have any referral system, so still we don't get too many of referrals. I always believe in referrals, because to give good service to the client and pet, it's always better if we know something we should do. If we don't know, if we have doubt, better not to unnecessarily do. And if you're doing also, please do. So this is the salivary gland we have identified here. So I'm just going to slowly, because sometimes we end up damaging the blood vessel. Because I'll show you the blood vessel, how close it is. Can you see the blood vessel? How close it is. So we have to just go very close to the gland and separate it. You can see that it's just this area. Can I get a periosteal elevator also? So this is sitting in between both the branch of jugular vein. So I need to just identify the sublingual part of the parotid duct, parotid gland. Sorry, the submandibular gland. So I'm just going to separate slowly. One point at a time, I may end up opening this area also, but as long as I'm away from this, I will not directly try to open it. So now onwards, from this point onwards, I need to just separate the tissue, and I need to just find out whether this tissue is not related to the salivary gland, and I'll just keep separating it. So this is sublingual part. We are separating now this sublingual part. So now I need to identify this muscle. Probably I need to open little more from here. This is the, you can see the submandibular lymph node, you can see this structure, and this is a blood vessel going. So submandibular lymph node is sitting in this area. Whenever we are removing, we need to access this area over the sublingual nerve. So I need to go here, I need to go below this area. So this is the area where I'm going. I can just hold it and just, so here the salivary cyst is opening up, you can see that. We'll just remove, suction, can you open? You can see these small flakes. These flakes are all the stones are the Sialoadenectomy is there. So my finger is below the digastric muscle because the polyschematic part of this we are going to get it. You can see this cavity. Can you see the stones? These are all shallow liths. And we don't have to remove this because we are just addressing the primary cause of this. I'll just hold the mucosa with the arctic forceps, and probably we can just use this. Okay, and now slowly I am going to separate this area. So we'll get in this area hypoglossal nerve also. So probably we need to. So now what I am going to do is I am going to put my can you put this here, and then I am going to hold my this sublingual part of the salivary gland. I remove this part now, and I'm going to bring it out from here, and I'm going to start separating this from this area so that I can go very close to its can you see it must have broken here, and that's why the cyst was in this area. Now we need to identify our hypoglossal nerve. So this is the hypoglossal nerve. We are able to see now here very well. You can see this nerve here. This is the hypoglossal nerve. This is the hypoglossal nerve coming from here. This is a blood vessel. I think 1 second. I need to reconfirm the anatomy. I need to just separate this part slowly. Don't pull it because this part, polyschematic part, is a little more. So I have to go as much as close to the opening. You can see this part. If we leave this also, sometimes this also will keep secreting and you will not get. Sir. Okay, just hold it like this time. In this area, we should not leave any small bleeder also because they can cause the edema and pressure on the larynx later on. So I don't want to leave anything behind. Now I am going to start separating it slowly and go as close as possible inside. And now we have already started seeing the hypoglossal nerve. I'll just show you in a minute. So once you are able to see the hypoglossal nerve, you can cut in at that level. So this is the hypoglossal nerve. Doc, can you hold it? I'll just visualize it. So this is the hypoglossal nerve coming here. This one, and I separate it quite a bit now. Now I have option of going even deeper little bit and I can cut it from here, but to me looks like I can go little more deeper. I think I'm almost at the end now. I don't have to do too much now, more. Too much. Just slowly I'm just separating this one from the nerve. So you can see this is the nerve, okay, and now we are going to, this one part of the nerve is in the gland also, supplying to the gland. Let's, we can just hold with this. Okay. And we just go there, and you can see that we have just come to the end area where we can just close it. So you hold it again though. You can see I have gone quite deep inside to make sure I remove all the secreted tissue. Now I'm going to ligate it and I'm going to cut it. Can I get a 2-0 suture material? Yes, sir.
Eva has been
Eva?
like re-surgery.
Ha.
Take an X-ray. All looks fine.
Okay.
You want it to sweet days.
Okay. So now we are going to just suture it as cranial as possible, and then I'm going to just cut it. That's all. So we will just try to flush this cavity once, and then we don't have to remove because these are not secretory tissue. This is just I'll just remove whatever I can remove, and then I'll just close it. I'm not going to go and separate because unnecessary there lots of bleeding happen, and I don't want unnecessary bleeding to happen. So probably I'll just use my ligature. Okay, so that's all. We are just going to this. Can we do a little wash with the
Tony.
not really required. I can just remove a little bit more. I'll just okay, can you hold on this one? Can you hold this? I'll just separate a little bit, and I'll just try to remove a little more. It's not important for me to remove, but it's just like unnecessarily in my mind is bothering. These are all Sialoadenectomy, you can see. Okay. I think this is almost clean. But this is not mandatory because sometimes they bleeds a lot. So it is not mandatory to remove. You can leave it like this. It will still go by itself only. In terms of suturing, it's pretty straightforward. We'll just put 1 or 2 stitches here just to close this area, and then we'll start closing from the other area. In some cases you will not get proper anatomy, so sometimes there is struggle also there, but if you are good in anatomy and you have just before the surgery also you have seen the anatomy properly and see some videos of the surgery, still you can do, but I will advise you do at least 3-4 cadaver first. Make sure that you are aware of the whole anatomy, because during the surgery if you get into trouble where you are lost your anatomy, you'll just keep thinking that why I opened it, because you're not able to understand what is what. So probably do under some supervision, or at least 3 to 5 of your cadaver, and then plan this kind of surgery. And being these surgeries are not urgent surgeries, sometimes you can delay these surgery till you do on cadavers. Make sure that you know everything, and then you can start doing that. So we'll not do complete video now. We'll post-operative, this dog will go home today. We are just going to inject some bupropion in the muscles and all, and we'll just start closing it. This layer, I'll just take few bites from down to make sure to minimize the dead space.
Local pretty.
So that's all about parotid glands removal. Sorry, it's submandibular salivary gland removal surgery, and we'll try to put more and more videos. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you.